YouTube, what's happening? It is Monday, May 19th, and we're going to talk about the baseball slate today. There's 12 games on the slate. It's Monday. A few teams are traveling, but let me tell you, I'm glad the weekend series are over. The whole rivalry aspect of things has made for some weird outcomes this weekend. Let me show you how the recap went yesterday. I took these plays here. Did you know the Dodgers got swept by the Angels of all teams? What? Exactly. That's what type of weekend it was. So the numbers do their job usually, but then you get weird situations they don't. So Houston won. Think that was good. Cleveland, Cincy hit the under. Mets, Yankees hit the over. St. Louis pushed. They were tied at 1. Everything else was eh. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport I do, which is now adding another sport because we do have WNBA that started and the sheet is done. If you want access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research or just, all the plays typed out, nice little lists, all you got to do is go check out the HQ. So, so we have 5 different sports going right now: NBA, NHL, MLB, MLS soccer, and now WNBA. All the sheets are there. So go check out the HQ there. So enough of that. We have 12 games in the slate, so let's go a little bit faster than usual. So we'll see if we can keep it under 30 minutes and jump to that first game right now. Yes, how could I forget? We need to take a look at the weather as well. We do it every video. We just kind of glance through it. 9 miles, nothing here. Miami, good. Boston, 17 miles an hour. That's a lot of wind, but blowing to the right field pole. You can see not much rain. Tampa's out, nothing but 86 degrees, so that could lead to some potentially higher scoring. 14 for the White Sox against the Mariners. Twins in at 17, damn, with potential rain. So we'll see how that goes. Brewers in a dome. St. Louis 14, but kind of blowing in. You can see in potential rain maybe. Lots of storms in this area today. Very crazy time for like tornadoes and stuff. Colorado in at 10, not much rain. San Fran out at 18. No, nothing to worry about there. A's 10, Doyers 9. There you go. There's your weather report. So now we can go ahead. This comes from Roto Grinders. If you want to go look at it yourself, it's just there. It's nothing I do. It's just I just pulled up school website. So let me go ahead and just jump into the first game right now. So it is going to be Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and currently we can see Cincy is a slight favorite with a 8 total. Let's look over at the spreadsheet and we see the numbers, and we see Cincy's on a 4-game winning streak. Pittsburgh's on a 3-game losing streak, and you can see why. That's why Paul Skeens lost yesterday, game went 8 complete innings, whole game complete, pitched, only gave up 1 run, and he lost because he could get 0 run support from his batters. Like that's infuriating if you're a fan, I'm sure. So, and then since he's been doing kind of good, average on a lot of things, I would say both teams bottom 3 in strikeouts or bottom 4 in strikeouts. That's something to look at. Let's look at the pitching. That's what matters today. So pitchers are going to be Lodolo versus Keller. That's your pitchers. No props are really standing out last 5 or 10, so we're not going to care about that. But we are going to care about their history, so we're going to take a look. So far, I'm leaning Cincinnati, obviously. Let's look at this matchup. Keller versus Cincinnati. Historically, Steer is a home run, but 375 and 16, not bad. What else we got? We got 056 for you. Oh my God, Friedel, what are you doing, dude? It's terrible. Is that like 2 for 18? 1 for 18? Whew. Stevens has a home run. You can see that against righties. This is how Cincy is this season. This is how Pittsburgh is versus lefties this season. You can see those numbers. Bart 412, doing great like usual. Per the usual against lefties. Lodolo versus Pittsburgh history. McCutcheon has a home run, but that's all he's ever done against him, it looks like. Reynolds 417. So we've got a couple dudes that stand out a little bit. Other than that, we look at the earned runs for Lodolo last 5. We can just see what he's been up to, averaging 2.8 earned runs. Not the best. Let's look at Keller as well, since we're kind of like checking out the earned runs, right? Makes sense. Earned runs for Keller, last 5. Let's see what we got. 2.6. So we got 2.8, 2.6. There's no real advantage when it comes to the pitching. We have a slight advantage a slight advantage for Cincinnati when it comes to the runs. Pittsburgh has 0 run support, but you know how baseball works. The teams that kind of hover at the bottom, they eventually break out. Like they break out when they break out. So Pittsburgh's eventually going to pop. I don't know when. So, but I'm not liking anything about this game. Nothing's really standing out saying take me. So I'm going to pass and move on to the next one. All right, moving on. Cubs and Marlins are up next. And currently it is 174 Cubs on the road with an 8.5 total. Looking over at the sheet, we can see the Cubs offense is doing pretty good on runs. Miami is struggling to score runs at 3.1. Batting average wise, they're actually better than the Cubs. They're batting better. They're just leaving a lot of dudes on base. Cubs hits are not the best, but they are getting on base with their walks. Neither team is striking out much. Miami's just straining dudes. That's all this is. Yeah, they're getting dudes out there, just not doing much with them. Let's go see who's pitching today. Ben Brown versus Edward Cabrera, and we can see Brown has shown up in the last 10 on hits and earned runs at 70%, but only 3 out of the last 5 in both of these. So it's kind of like a peek at to see what's happening on the earned runs and hits situation. Hits, let's look at last 5. We can see he's averaging 5.4, which isn't the best. And we can look at what's his earned runs to. He's averaging 2.4. Miami, it was against his last game was against Miami. So there you go. He's going to face them again. This time it's in Miami, and when he was in Chicago, he gave up 2. So 5 hits, 2 earned runs, not bad, not a bad start. Let's look at the history. Cabrera versus Chicago. Nico is a 625, but only 8 at bats. A lot of red, no home runs, nothing standing out. Cubs versus righties, there you go for the season. Miami versus righties, there you go for the season. Ben Brown versus Miami historically. Stowers has a home run. Sanchez has nothing. Nothing. A lot of nothing. So nothing's truly standing out. Ben Brown, a little bit of hits problem, but he got 5 hits to Miami. Miami is 20th in hits at 8.4. I can't trust that. They are 26 in runs. I can't trust that. So we're definitely not taking that. Let's go look at the bats. Let's just pop over here and take a look at the bats real quick. Not that one. This one. We want the bats. Like, yo. Giants. That's later. Stop it. I'm clicking too fast. So here are the bats. Who's everybody doing good last 5? You can see it's Connor, Nico, again. Nico's the one that actually did okay, right? Let's take a look at that. Go back over here. Let's see. Nico, we got Pete Crow, we got Swanson, we got a few. Yeah, Nico's 625, which is with a 1.5 and 8 at bats, and he's doing well now. We actually might just take him on the HRR because that's actually really good. He has a good history. He's got a good recency. So those two line up. Yeah, he's playing great right now, and he has a matchup he likes. Yeah, let me get this dude right here. We're gonna take HOERNE over 1.5 HRR. I'm gonna take the HRR just because I get the 110. I could take the hit, but 204 is that's too much for me. So I'll take the HRR 1.5. That seems like the way I would want to go. If you want to go total bases, I know some of you do. Just get one base is still 210. Too pricey. So I'll go HRR because of the way he's been playing. That'll be my play in this one. I'm not going to play anything else. Next. All right, moving on. We got Mets and Boston. And currently it is slightly into the Mets with a 9 total. Let's look over at the sheet and we can see, well, both teams are kind of mid. There's nothing really standing out here. Boston looks to be a little bit better than the Mets. They're getting their hits. They're better in hits. They're better in runs, which matters. The team who has the most points usually wins the game. So, yeah, I mean, come on. Let's look at the pitchers. We got Senga going out there versus Hunter Dobbins. And Hunter Dobbins over strikeouts is highlighted here. And Mets are 19th in strikeouts. Potential, maybe? We'll take a look. How much over 3 are you going? Are you just a bunch of 4s? No, not bad. Not bad. Only problem is, do you get roughed up easy? That's the main thing. Let's look at the last 5. We are. You gave up 5 runs to Detroit, but nothing to KC. 4 before that. So you're kind of gonna hit boom or bust with you. But hey, if we do good, you're averaging 4.6 strikeouts, 5.62, 6.4. Not bad. The Mets are striking out a good bit. That could be a play. We'll hold on to that real quick. Let's go look at the matchups. Dobbins has never faced the Mets. Mets versus righties. There you go this season. Boston versus righties. There you go. And then Senga versus Boston. And we have not much data. So if I were to take a play, it would be this. If anything, I think I might, because if I look back over here, the Mets last 10 are their strikeouts are higher than usual in the last 10. They're usually in the mid 7s. Right now, they're closer to 9, which means they're swinging more. They're being a little more aggressive, which is good for a strikeout prop. So, and they're struggling to get runs. They're struggling to hit, and they're on the road, which is always good. So Hunter Dobbins should be a little more relaxed because he's at home. So let's say 3.5. I'm going to roll the dice. How's he done all season? Let's look at the whole season. That is his season's been 5 games. That's all he's done. So he has pitched very little, which is fine. I have no other stats really. So we're going to take, I don't trust Boston money line. I don't trust Mets money line. I don't trust the over under. None of the stats scream that. None of the bats really stood out. So there's nothing there. Let's take a look at the bats in general. See anybody like 10 for 10. Yeah. See, that's last 10. This is last 5. Duran's like the only one actually standing out. How does it look? Does it look like impressive, or is it just like, yeah, you're just doing it? Yeah, see, you're barely hitting it. Nah, don't love that. I'm going to roll the dice. You don't have to do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to take old Dobbins here to get us 4 strikeouts. How hard could that be? Just get 1 an inning. That's all you got to do. How many innings are you pitching? You're averaging 5.2. Just get 1 per inning. It's not that hard. I'm going to take Dobbins, 4 strikeouts. Next. All right, moving on. We got Houston at Tampa. Currently is 134 Tampa with a 9 total. We can see what's happening here. Houston 6-4, 5-5 Tampa. You can see the records. Houston slightly, and they have a little bit more green than red, so there you go. But not much. It's not much of a difference for me to go, ooh, Houston. Like, no, like Tampa's still better in runs. Tampa's better in hits. Yeah, this is close. There's no advantage here, I would say. Let's look at the props. See what we got pitching wise. Pepio going up against Colton Gordon. We got to look at this dude a little closer. Pepio is highlighted by his walks, which is never what thing you want to be known for right now. 1.9, that's not bad. What's your earned runs looking like? 2.3, last 5, 2. Pretty good stuff. Pepio's been dealing. Let's look at Colton. Colton pitched 1 game. He had 3 earned runs on May 14th. He pitched a whopping 4 innings. Good job, buddy. How many strikeouts you have? 3 and, what was it, 7 hits? 7 hits, damn. Tampa's 12th in hits. That might be a play. Let's go a little deeper, shall we? Pepio versus Houston. Historically, there you go. Walker has a home run, 7 at bats. Other than that, nothing much. Houston versus righties. Tampa versus lefties. Ooh, Tampa is not good against lefties. Outside of Calvert, that's just, ooh, damn. Well, I guess Walls is I guess 250 is where you want to be. That or higher. I prefer all my batters to be above 3, but hey, I mean, they ain't the Dodgers, so I mean, half the team's above 300 there. Or the Yankees, them too. Tampa, not so much. And then nothing against Gordon, obviously. So, he gave up hits, but Tampa is not good against lefties. Nothing's really standing out for this one. Let's go look at the bats real quick. Anybody here? We got Cabrera again, who I said has been doing good. He's the only one that does good against lefties, right? So wasn't you? What, you're the only one that does good? Hold up. Against lefties. Yeah, you're 306. What, 8-9? 8-9 is not the best, but 306 and 36 bats, I can work with that. I can absolutely work with that. And I just need you to get on base. I need you to do something. You're 9 for 10, and you've been doing pretty good recently. Yeah, I'll rock with this. How many bats are you getting? Mainly 4. That's fine. I can absolutely work with that. So, CABALLERO over 0.5. PRA. I'm thinking NBA. HR. Yeah, so him to do anything, get a hit, a run, or an RBI, do any of the 3, and we're good to go. So, I'll take that and move on to the next game. All right, moving on. Cleveland, Minnesota. Minnesota finally lost the game. The streak is over. Sadness indeed. So, but today we bounce back, I see. Well, maybe they do. Who knows? 135 Minnesota with 7.5 total. Let's look at the sheet, and we can see Cleveland has been playing like booty cheeks. They have not been doing good at all. Minnesota has been playing. Their numbers are great. They had a 13-game winning streak. Finally lost one. What can you do? So you can't win them all. Let's go look at the pitchers. Who's going out there today is going to be, if I had the right game up, that might help. Bailey Odebatter versus Logan Allen. And we can see Odebatter has been getting rocked recently. 5.5 hits has gone over 4 out of 5. That ain't good. Logan Allen, nothing else really standing out, but we'll take a look at his anyways. 2.5 earned runs, huh? Not the best. Odebatter is giving up a lot of hits now. He did shut down Baltimore, but we know how bad Baltimore is right now. The Nats just literally took them behind the woodshed this past weekend. So the Nationals, the Washington team, yeah, that team, yeah, they just beat the hell out of them this past weekend. So, all right, we look at last 5. What's your average? Last 5 average, you're looking at 6.6, and that includes your great game against Baltimore. Good job, buddy. 8, 7, 8. You're most likely going to give up probably 6 or 7, if I had to guess. Let's look at the history. Odebatter versus Cleveland. Cleveland is hitting like ass. We know this. 167. This is against Obear. 600. Not bad. That's 3 for 5. I don't care about that. 318 for Ramirez. I do care about that. That's good. So Jose could be a play for us if he has like a good number. And if he's playing, because I know he's been getting hurt a good bit recently. Let's see. Then we got righties for the whole season. We got Minnesota versus lefties the whole season. Buxton 346 with 2 with a 1.0 is pretty good. Carlos 391 2 with a 1.1 also looks good. Let's go ahead and pop up here and look for any of these bats. We got 3 bats we can look for in this one. If anything, Carlos is the number 1 guy I would want. Jose number 1 right there. That's something we can look at. Where's Carlos? You close up here, buddy? Where you at? You're not even close. All right. And who was the other one I just mentioned? It was Buxton. That's right. Buxton is also not close. So we're not going to dumpster dive for players just because they have a good history. We want a combo like Jose here. Jose has a nice combination. Let's see. Yeah, he's been playing. Good job. Let's see, last 10, he's been playing great. 3 with a 1.5 with a minus 110, and he has a good history. Yeah, we'll take Jose. I'm down. We're going at very heavy player props today so far, I've noticed. I didn't plan that. It just happens. Over 1.5 HR. Like, we didn't have any player props like Saturday, but then like we had like one or a couple yesterday, but this right now we got 4. So, hey, I mean, the numbers line up, the history lines up, we take it. So we're going to take Jose. We're not going to take anything else in this one, I don't think, but we're not going to, we're kind of fading O'Bear by taking Jose. Does that make sense? We'll do that. Other than that, Logan Allen, what you been doing earn runs just because somebody wants to see it? Yeah, you've been pretty 7-0. Yeah, we're going to leave all that alone. We're just going to take Jose to get a 1.5 HR and just move on to the next game. All right, moving on. We're going to Seattle and the Chicago White Sox. So who just got swept by the Cubs? Fun stuff. Let's see what we got here. In this one is going to be Seattle 205 with an 8 total. Let's look at the sheet. And we can see both teams just garbaggio. Just not good. Set them by the curb. They're getting ready to get picked up. Put them in the can. That's just where they belong. Even though 4-6 last 10, not bad. 5-5, average. Let's see what the props are telling us. Props. We want Seattle. We went to Mariners and White Sox, and we went to Luis Castillo, who has been getting crushed in walks. Oh my God, he cannot stop throwing walks. And Davis Martin's getting crushed on hits. Oh, we have a few things to look at. So first off, we want Luis Castillo. First, how is Chicago with the walks? Chicago is 29th in walks. That's not happening. And then Davis Martin is 5.5 hits. How is Seattle with hits? 25th in hits. That ain't happening either. We got to have a good lineup. It's got to be something good if I'm going to take it. And those two don't line up. So nothing there. Game's kind of ass, let's be honest. People are going to just jump on Seattle and think they're the way to go. This is one of the ones Chicago could win because it's going to be just a garbage fight. Ugh, disgusting. And you can see the stuff here. Randy's got a home run and a 1 for 4 with a home run. I don't care about that. Against righties, this is how Seattle's been this season. This is how Chicago's been against righties. And this is Louis versus Chicago historically. 083, that ain't good. Over 2, over 3, 1 for 5 with a home run for Taylor. Outside of that, not much. There's nothing here. What are the bats? Get rid of Jose. We're done with you. Let's go look at the bats. Mariners, White Sox. Boop, boop. Julio's doing decent. Cal's doing decent. Chase Meredith, Meadroth, however you say that. And Cal again. Yeah, there's very little here. And then remember, both teams are just kind of just cheeks. Do we like a nerfy is the question. Are the pitchers good enough to actually take a nerfy or even the under of 8? You never know. Let's look. Let's get rid of you and you. Let's just look at this. Wait, I closed one too many tabs. Damn it. Come back to me. Come back to me. Here we go. Earned runs. We need to look at both these dudes' earned runs. If their earned runs are low, then I can probably take this. So with Davis Martin and Louis, let's see. Earned runs 2.5, last 5. You're averaging 2.4, which actually isn't bad. 4-0-3-4-1. One against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's offense was not good a few days ago. Minnesota, you gave up nothing and still Minnesota won the game. And Castillo has been doing this last 5. 3-0-1. 5-1. I don't like the 5. That annoys me. I'm concerned. This is one of those games that could end up being 1-0 snooze fest, or it could be 7-6 with like extras. I don't know. This is a pass. Next. All right, moving on. The matchup of the day is Baltimore and Milwaukee. And you would think, oh, that sounds like an amazing matchup, right? Well, let me show you the odds. Currently, it's a pick'em almost with an 8.5. And then we look at the sheet and go, oh my God. Baltimore's lost 6 in a row. They fired their manager a few days ago, and they still can't figure things out because they can't win. They're 2-8. Milwaukee's 3-7, and they can't do anything with the bat. They're batting $184 last 10. What? Their on base is terrible. Their slugging is terrible. Their OPS is below 600. What are you doing? Hits, they're averaging 5 hits. They're just not good at all. They're striking out a ton. I mean, at least they're still on bases. At least they're still on bases. But when they get on base, they got to do that, which is hard enough to do as it is. So, I mean, struggles for real. This is just bad v bad in different ways. Milwaukee won because their pitching is amazing recently. That's how they're winning. Those 3 wins came from pitching. So that's how they won yesterday, was pitching. So let's look over at the props and see who's pitching today, because that's why we look at both. We want to see who is actually the good side. So for this one, we got to click on Baltimore Brewer. Hope my computer doesn't get a virus looking at this game, because this is just that dirty and disgusting. Quinn Priester is 2.5 walks allowed. He's gone over 4 out of 5. Priester cannot pitch like what are you doing? And it's Kramer. Kramer's not bad. Priester is averaging the last 3 walks, but 2.5 is a little lot. That's what I'm saying. That's a little lot because 2.5 under is minus 200. That is ridiculous. And 1.5 over is 210. That's a silly line. Silly line. Let's look at Kramer. 55024. Good God, this is garbage. Brewster historically versus Carlson. Yeah, 2 for 2 against righties. This is how Baltimore is this season. This is how Milwaukee is against righties. And this is how Kramer is historically. And Bowers has 2 home runs and 9 at bats with a 3.33 with a 1.4. Hoskins has a home run with 2.33 with a 6.67. Not many at bats, but they teed off on this man. So this is a team that is dead last in all major batting categories in the past 10 days, but they have good history. So who knows what the hell. If Milwaukee's going to break out of their slump, remember I said the teams at the bottom kind of struggle. They have a breakout. This is a Milwaukee breakout. This is a prime spot for a Milwaukee breakout against this man right here. So his last time he faced him, he had 6 earned runs, and that was last year in April. So yeah, that might be something. But am I going to bet it? No. We only bet that. That's a setup for Milwaukee to break out. A setup. We don't bet the setups. We bet that makes sense. Let's take this. Do I lean? If you want to take this, I would take Milwaukee. I would take Milwaukee. Hell, you can get Milwaukee at plus. Milwaukee's 115 on the main line. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not taking it. You can if you want to. I'm moving on to the next game. Pass. All right, moving on. We got a fun one. We got Detroit and St. Louis. And currently, where's that? There it is. 155 St. Louis with an 8.5 total. Look at the spreadsheet. What do we see? Offense. Both offenses doing great things over here. Typically, this leans to an over because if both bats are hot and the pitchers are at least average or worse, overs are always going to be on the menu. Let's see what the pitchers are today. Today is going to be, for St. Louis, it's going to be Sonny Gray, who has gone over 2.5 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 games. That's a good start. Let's look at his numbers. I know we're missing a pitcher. We'll get to that in a second. Last 5 earned runs, he's been 3-3-4-0 because Pittsburgh is garbage. And then, because we know this, and then 7 against Philly. So he's averaging 3-4 with the assistance of a 0. So, and you don't count the Philly. You don't count the Pittsburgh one because we saw how bad Pittsburgh's bats are. They can't help Paul Skeens. They can't help nobody. So now the question is, who is pitching for Detroit? Well, that's a good question. Let me answer that for you. It is going to be, if ESPN's correct, which you know they're never correct half the time, we come over here. I hit refresh. It's refreshing. It says Montero's going out there. Okay, so we don't have, I need stats. Let me see some stats. He is 1-1, 4.68, 18 Ks with a 1.52, and he's pitched in 5 games. He started 25 innings. Not the best numbers, not the best. So we have a pitcher who is not looking good overall with the numbers. And then we have over here, we have another guy who is clearly not looking good with the numbers because we have stats. If I go to the matchup, I look at the history, Sonny Gray versus Detroit. The numbers don't look the best, but Detroit's been on fire. Detroit is not your usual Detroit offense. Detroit's been kind of most years. Right now, they're doing good. So, yeah, there's Detroit versus righties. You can see the data there. They're better. They love lefties. They love them some lefties. St. Louis versus righties. There you go. They're kind of split. And then there's Montero. See, never faced him though. So I'm going to go over. What's the weather in this one? It's the last piece of this puzzle I want to see. This is St. Louis. So we do have weather that's 14, but it is blowing kind of in, or it is left field pole. So this might help, but then we might have some rain. It's 76 though. If this game even happens, they might cancel this game because there's a whole gaggle of storms in the area today. So who knows what's going to happen? There could be a tornado in the stadium by the time first pitch happens. So based on how the week's gone in that area, yeah, no, not a shot. There's a 50, I'm thinking there's like 50-50 chance this game doesn't even play. So, but I will take the over of what was it? 8.5? Yeah, I'll take over 8.5 and move on to the next one. All right, moving on, Philly and Colorado. And currently the Phillies are minus 250. Why would I ever think to say the Rockies are favored? That ain't happening anytime soon. Over under of 10. That's a lot. Let's see. Looking at the numbers, everything's mid. Everything's a lot of mid here. They're 38. My God. Yeah, nothing there. Let's go to props. So far, I'm not leading anything. We got Freeland versus Sanchez today. Sanchez over walks is highlighted. Freeland hits is kind of highlighted. Let's look at that. 6.5 is a high number. I mean, it is Rockies though, but Philly is only 16th in hits, so that's not truly standing out for me. Whew, last 10. So he's averaging 7.4 in his last 5 games. 3, 10, 7, 11. Jeez, that is what? How are you? How? Now this is called. Yeah, Philly is only they're only getting 8.2 hits a game. That's literally almost the whole game, and you're not going to pitch the whole game. You're going to pitch 6 innings at most. So we're not going to trust that. Freeland historically versus Phillies. He's been pretty good against them. Look at the numbers. Yeah, there's a couple home runs in there and whatnot, but look at the averages. Castellanos has 3 home runs and 17 at bats. Not bad. 270, but 37 at bats. There's a lot of bats here. Let's go lefties. Phillies. They're kind of split. Rockies versus lefties. Yeah. Against Sanchez, you can see how the Rockies have done. They've had some success too. Okay, maybe Philly shouldn't be 250. Maybe they shouldn't be. Looking at the spreadsheet, we see the numbers. It's Philly 250. Colorado plus 1.5 was plus 140. Don't sound too bad. I'm definitely not taking Philly. They on the road. All the numbers are close. There's no just dominating numbers saying, ooh, Philly for sure. Now, overall talent-wise, yeah, probably sure, but the numbers don't lie. You see how they've been doing. You see how historically they have done in their numbers. You see Colorado has success against Sanchez. You see Freeland's been having success against Philly. Am I crazy enough to take Colorado plus? Might be. I might be. I don't know. I'm scared though. I am scared. Oh, look at the bats. Let's look at the bats. They might help out a little bit. One prop, and it's Bryce Harper walks, is the only thing doing good recently. This matches up nicely with how mid these two teams have been with their bats. I'm going to pass, but I lean Colorado. I know that sounds weird. I said it. I lean it. I'm not taking it because I'm scared. No, I'm scared. Pass. Next. You know what they say? Scared money don't make no money. And you know what? We're going to do it. I was going to just straight up not take it. I was going to pass. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm scared, right? But sometimes you got to go with your gut. And something's telling me something. They could lose 10-0. I know. I'm going Colorado plus 1.5. I'm getting it at plus 140. I got to take that. We got to go for it. So we're going to take that. Now we can move on to the next one, which is going to be Kansas City and San Francisco. Oh, that felt weird to type out Colorado plus 1.5. That might be a bad day. But hey, this is why we straight bet. This is one bet. That's all it is. So don't put them in a parlay. Do not put that in a parlay. Don't do it. San Fran 126, 7.5. Let's look spreadsheet. When we go over here, we can see again, they're kind of just the same. Nothing's really standing out. KC's got the most triples. Wow. No home runs, but they get in triples. That's crazy. 3-game winning streak, 1-game winning streak. Let's go to player props, see who's going out there today. This is going to be Rolls Johnson. This is going to be Robbie Ray versus Abubich. Nothing standing out on the prop front. Let's look at the history and break them down a little bit. Matchup, Robbie Ray versus Royals, and you can see how they've been doing. Hunter Renfroe is 0 for 23 against Robbie Ray. How is that possible? What the shit is that? Hell, you're doing as good as I would against Robbie Ray. 0 for 23. It's just hold up. Can I take Hunter Renfroe under? That's what I want to do. Let's just go straight to the props. Hunter Renfroe, tell me you're doing bad too. Tell me I have a good number. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh, there's Hunter Renfroe. Look, he's doing decent. He's doing great. I don't want to tag him now, but I kind of want to look at it. Let's look, because you're over 23. Hits over half, minus 120. Yeah, you've been doing good last 10, right? No, not really. Are you going to break the over 23 slump? I might pay to find out. We'll come back to that. We're going to keep looking. So that's just hilarious. You see that? Like, what the hell? You do have an RBI. You got a sack fly or whatever it was. Against lefties, this is how KC is this season. There you go. This is how San Fran is against lefties. There you go. And then this is how San Fran is against Bubich. Chapman, 556 with a home run of 1.6 and 9 at bats. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to fade Hunter Renfroe. That is hilarious. I got to do it. You don't see something that terrible. I do this every day. We look at every single game, every single day on this channel, and I've never seen something that terrible on an 0 for 23. So we're going to go HRR. We're going to go under. Half. I don't like that. Hits. That would mean he has to go like 0 for 4. Or at least 0 for 2, because that'll get him probably to the 5th inning. And then How many innings are you pitching, Mr. Ray? That's the next question I have. I need to look at you. Innings pitched? Yeah, 6, 7, 7, 6. Ugh. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. This is too funny. I'm going under for plus 105. I know it is funny. People are gonna be like, "What are you doing? You're taking Colorado first. Now you're taking Hunter Renfroe under hits." Yes, I am. Renfroe under 0.5, just straight up hits. I don't want the HR because this dude might get a sack fly or something. So it was like under half a hit. Let's see if he goes over 26, 27. Let's see if he keeps the streak going. I'm gonna go for it next. All right, moving on. Angels and A's. Angels swept the Dodgers. Remember that. That is madness. I still can't believe they did that. That's baseball for you, though. The best team can lose 60 games a season. Remember that. That's what type of sport we bet on here. We're a little crazy, aren't you and I? We're a little crazy. Anyways, because we bet on everything. So, moving on. It is minus 130 for the A's with a 9.5 total. Let's look at our sheet. And we can see A's not so good with the bats. Runs, obviously, Angels favor. They faced the Dodgers and they whooped ass, and they're doing pretty good. I told you, we've been watching our little babies just sprout from nothing. Remember, they were 30 for almost every category. We've been watching them grow slowly by a little bit by a little bit. They're getting better. They're getting so much better. They're growing up so nice. Oh, props. Let's look. Soriano going up against JT again. Again, walks is highlighted here. Angels are 9th in walks now. That might be worth a play. I said that with Springs yesterday. That wasn't a play because Springs pitched like the best game of his career. Like, how does that happen? All right, cool. You had control. Good job. What's your 2-2-2-2? I don't like that. I already don't like that. Yeah, and I need like some 3s and 4s in there. I need some like volume. I don't like this. You barely hit the line. So get off my screen. JT versus Angels, nothing. Angels versus righties, there you go. A's versus righties, there you go. And then Soriano versus A's. Butler 400 with a home run, that's 2 for 5. No, none of that. None of that. So I don't like this. Let's go to the bats and just highlight these as well since we're already here. And we see Matthew Lugo, Urias, Ward doing decent. Nitos or Zach doing good. Nolan, nothing's a bunch of 80s. I'm not liking this. Nothing standing out. We're going to pass. Next. All right. The main event of the evening. Arizona and the Dodgers, based on the stats anyways. Let me open this up so you can see it. We have an over-under of 9 with the Dodgers being 142. Spreadsheet-wise, look at all the green. 1-4, 1-2, 1-3, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-4, 2-2, 1-3, 2-10, 1-8. Just green galore. That's a lot of green. But there are 4 and 6 in the last 10. Look at that. They're so good here. This is how bad their pitching's been. That's just all it tells you. Their bats are amazing. Their pitching is ass. That's the Dodgers this year. They're kind of like the Yankees last year. Or the Yankees this year. The Yankees bats are good. Their pitching is still ass. Arizona 6 and 4. Great stuff. Pitching has been letting them down a little bit. You can see. But hey, whatever. Props. Let's see who's going out there today to toss the ball around. Put on the right game. That might help us. There we go. Right there. Brandon PFAT going up there against Landon Knack. Well, PFAT strikeouts has been quite nice. Quite nice. Didn't you just face the Dodgers? You did. You just faced them. Literally on the 8th, and you had 6 strikeouts. I took this play. I remember this. And I was like, wait a minute. Arizona strikeout prop against Dodgers. Yes. Yeah, I remember this nicely. But now, Dodgers are no longer striking out a ton. They're back to like cool. They cool down. They're back to normal. They were like 28th when I took that prop, so or 30th. They were bad. Now, Arizona's number 1. Damn, look at Arizona. They are playing amazing. So 9.5 is our total. Let's see if we can take an over, because I'm already leaning over already. Weather-wise, we're looking at 9 miles an hour straight center, straight out with 0 rain, 75 degrees. Let's look at the histories. Landon versus 0-2, 0-0, 1 for 3, 0-0, 1, nothing. Arizona versus righties, there you go. This season pretty good. Doyas versus righties, there you go. PFAT, oh my, 375, 417, 385, 375 over 3. So yes, some of you all have good histories. That's good for the Dodgers. When they're already hot and they have good history, yeah, let's go over here to the bats. Let's take a look what that looks like. Who's popping out over here? A lot are popping out. Perdomo's number 1. Oh, interesting. Suarez, pretty good. Carroll's been hot. Look at this. Look at everyone. All the main heavy hitters are hot. Oh, the pitchers. We got to look at these earned runs. Let's look at the earned runs. PFAT earned runs. Last five. What you got for us? 2-6. 1-2-6-0 against the Dodgers the first time, and then 4 against San Fran. Yeah, he pitched a great game here. Let's go look at the other pitcher, which is Knack. Let's see what his earned runs are and see if it's worth an over. Because I'm thinking over still. I'm still leaning the over. Yeah, 3-2. And you're going against Arizona. And Brandon here had a great game, but he has a bad history versus him. I don't know if he has another great game. I'm going over. Yep. We're going to take the over of 9. Is it 9.5? It is 9.5. Yeah. We're going to take that. I like the way that sounds. Over 9.5. I don't have a single money line today. I have Colorado as a plus, but I have no money lines. I have a lot of player props. I have an under hit prop. What is wrong with me today? What is wrong? It's Monday. It's weird. Let's go to the schedule. We're done with this. Tomorrow is Tuesday, isn't it? And we can see that, well, everybody's playing. So I'll be here tomorrow. Drop a like, subscribe, do what the screen tells you to do. If you want the plays typed out nicely or you want access to the spreadsheet for all the sports, you got to go check out the HQ up there. Other than that, let me know in the comments what you're playing. And I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday for some more MLB. Deuces.